welcome to the show, The Total You. I am your hostess, Evangelist Faris Wallace, and we're coming under the direction of Abundant Faith Cathedral in Detroit. We're under the direction of Bishop Joel T. Wallace, who is the pastor. Our presentation is about your mind, body, soul, and spirit, so I'm asking, sit back and enjoy this broadcast. Welcome back to the second part of our Total You. Today we're still talking with Danae Guess. And if you were here the first part, we were talking about the Lincoln Heritage Life Insurance Company and how she came on board. So we're going to have her do a quick review before we go forward.
Yes. So yes, my name is Danae Guess. I'm from a small town called Inkster, Michigan. I got into insurance after grieving two very big losses in my family. Unfortunately, at the time, we really didn't have a lot of money to put into these funerals. And that also, when I went into GoFundMe and I saw how many families struggle with putting their family away, it kind of shook me. So it was really crazy. I wasn't looking for insurance to get into. It kind of found me because God sent it my way when I was sending him those prayers.
All right. Okay, now you talked about you being in a certain part of this life insurance company. What part was that?
So I specialize in final expense insurance.
Okay.
And so what that means is the company that I work for, our focus is to make sure that when those final expenses come, which is basically death expenses, that the family not only has a plan in place, but also when everything is said and done, they have some money left over.
Okay.
Yes.
The final expenses is something that most of us, like you said, we don't plan for per se, and what you're about is setting up a way that we can plan for it and it not be such a drain on our pocketbooks, because most of us think, wait, I'm barely making ends meet, and how am I supposed to plan for something, that's gonna come, but it's like, it's the mind-boggling thing. And so you're about doing it. So how do you go about convincing someone or even influencing them to even think about this thing?
So first of all, something that we all know is that we don't know the time, the day, or the place, but we know that one day we are all going to pass away.
Yes.
And we also all know that when that day comes, there's going to be a bill that comes along with that death.
Thank you. Wait, that bill, okay, I'll let you go into it. I'm going to let you go. She's going to do the spill, and I'm going to be quiet for a while.
And so I like to get into people's heads, and I like to ask them questions. So, for example, I would basically ask, do you have a plan in place for when that time comes? If they say yes or they say no, I'd ask just a few more questions. If they were to say no, I would basically ask, is that something that you're comfortable with? Do you want your family to have to deal with this burden on their own, or is this something that you would rather take off of them before that day comes? Because we don't think about the fact that our family is grieving our loss.
Right.
And while they're grieving our loss, they're having to make big financial decisions. And when you're grieving, you're not in your right state of mind. And what a lot of people don't think about is the fact that these funeral homes know that. They are banking on that. Yes. So that is a lot of reason why that bill gets so high. And that's exactly why we do what we do. These funeral homes, they take advantage of people when they know that they're grieving. Especially if you go in there with your policy, you'll be like, hey, I got this policy, They're going to try to take every single dollar from that policy.
Every single penny from that policy.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
And so I kind of explain just what my company does. Not only do we kind of take the burden away from your family when it comes to planning that funeral, but we also make sure that that money is sitting to the side when that day does come. Like we said, a lot of us are living paycheck to paycheck, and we don't have $5,000, $10,000, $12,000 just sitting around for when somebody passes away. So
they used to say, wait. Well, the Social Security people are going to pay, they're going to give me some money. And a lot of people don't understand. How much is that Social Security payment?
A couple $100.
Thank you. That it doesn't even cover what?
It don't even put a dent in nothing. That's not gonna cover the casket. That's not gonna cover the open and closing of the casket. That may barely cover transportation of the body, if that's a thing.
And that what? Usually it's what, $250, isn't it? $255 or something like
Yes.
that? And people think, well, so Social Security is gonna kick in, and they really don't realize how much that is.
Yeah, and it's also not only Social Security, but VA benefits.
Okay.
A lot of people that have served, when they get discharged and things, they are under the impression that they are fully covered when it comes to their death, and that is not always the case.
Okay.
Especially if you have family members. If you don't have a policy that you are paying on, 9 times out of 10, you need to look into getting one that you are paying on.
Okay.
A lot of times there's these things called group policies, and those are actually also given through regular work, if you work at a plant or something like that. And what they're not telling you, a lot of times if you don't pass away at work, that policy isn't going to pay out the way that you think it is.
I'm going to say this one because I know about the group thing. You leave that job, you've lost that insurance.
Yep.
And if you try to get back into that, they charge you a very high premium.
Yes.
And you really don't get much coverage.
Yes, absolutely.
Whereas if you stayed in that group, you might, like you said, you might, if you have to die in that company, and it may not, you may not get any payments if you don't die right.
Right, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
According to their stipulations.
Yeah, you have to die a certain way in order to get coverage, because they're going to be they're going to critique everything because they don't want to pay the money out.
Absolutely.
The insurance company, insurance companies are like that.
Yeah.
So what's the difference between your program and some of the other programs
I'm
we have
so
out
glad
there?
you asked me that. I'm so glad you asked me that. So the first thing, one of my favorite things about my company is the fact we only offer whole life insurance.
Okay.
We're not dealing with term. We're not dealing with any of that other stuff. And so a lot of people, that's where the confusion comes in.
Okay.
We don't know the difference between whole life and term life.
Okay.
So to put that in layman's term life is exactly what it sounds like. At some point, it's going to terminate on you.
Okay.
Whether it's in a couple of years or a couple of decades, all that money that you had put into it would just go to the company, and you're not going to see any of that back.
Okay.
Right. And then with term life insurance, they don't give you the opportunity to save. They don't have cash value built into it. And as time goes on, term life insurance, it actually goes up in what you're paying as far as premiums.
Okay.
Whole life is a whole lot different.
Okay.
Number one, is going to last you for your whole life until you till you pass away, or until you turn 100.
Okay.
And in either of those instances, the policy is going to pay everything that you put into it on top of your policy amount.
Okay.
And then
wait. It pays whatever I put into it? Okay, so if I've been in a policy for 50 years and I've been paying on it, and I've kept my premiums up and I've been paying on it, plus what my premium, like if I say I've got a $50,000 or $25,000. So if I've got that, they'll pay that plus what I've got already?
Yes.
Come on, y'all.
Yes. And that's exactly what cash value is. And that's what a lot of people don't know either. Whole life has cash value attached to it, where I get mixed up on the stipulations. It's either after the first 2 years or after you've paid a certain amount into your policy. After that point in time, the policy accumulates. Each payment that you make into it is just making it bigger and bigger and bigger. And as time goes on, all that money that you'd had to put into it is just basically sitting attached to your policy.
I've got like a bank account.
Yes. And that's funny that you said that too. 'Cause you can actually borrow against your policy. God forbid, you fall in a hard time or anything like that. You can take a loan from your policy, from your cash value. And then, use it for whatever you need to.
So but that would go back to where they would increase my premium rate though, correct?
Yes, ma'am. I do think they would either increase your premium rate or just add another, payment plan with you to get that money back
So
in
you
there.
might be paying two separate payments, okay, to the same company.
Yeah.
Okay. Whole life is different. Okay, so go through some of these things that are included in this whole life plan, y'all.
Okay. Well, all these things come with our policies and everything, but this is my favorite thing to go over with each of my clients, which
Okay, it's
is
called My Final Wishes?
yes, my
Okay.
final wishes.
Okay.
So you remember how I said there's basically a funeral plan attached to each policy
Okay.
that goes out to each person. That's where the funeral advantage comes in at.
Okay.
So Lincoln Heritage, insurance, funeral advantage, burial.
Okay.
Or cremation, whatever you like.
Okay.
And so they give us these booklets with each of our policies so that we could come up with that plan.
Okay.
So basically, once you sign up with us at Lincoln,
Okay.
and we get your policy started and everything, I, as an agent, I'm gonna go the extra mile and I'm gonna ask you, okay, what are your preferences, or have you thought about at all what you will want for yourself when that day comes?
Okay.
And the reason why we ask that is, number one, we don't want your family stressing about that.
Okay.
Of course, our family, they're going to want to send us away the nicest way possible.
Okay.
And they're also going to be wanting to think about what we wanted for ourselves.
Okay.
So we're going to make sure that we give you this final wishes profile. That way we can go through everything. You sign your name and you list your important people.
Okay.
Everything that you would like for yourself. And as the pages go on, you see if you have a specific cemetery that you would like, you would name that cemetery. If you have a will, things of that nature, you would put all that in here and put this in a safe spot for your beneficiary to find.
Okay.
And then the cool thing about this as well, you don't really have to fill this out. We have basically a portal. Each agent has a portal where I'll ask you these questions myself and it will go on your final wishes portal.
Okay.
Rather than you having to fill this out, I would have that information basically on
in
file
case
already.
they can't get to it, you got the information also.
Yes, absolutely.
The thing that I went through with the death of my sister was, like you said, the funeral homes and the cemetery. They wanted you to buy a crypt this, they wanted a vault this, they wanted the casket this way, and they wanted you to have this particular package. So does that help with that?
Absolutely. I'm a little bit upset because one of my pamphlets are missing, and the title of it is 9 Things Every Senior Should Know About Funerals, but it really should be titled 9 Things Everybody Should Know About Funerals. And one of the things in that pamphlet, it lets you know that a funeral home cannot force you to take anything from them. Especially something like a casket. They actually have to take what you provide them with. They don't have to see the policy that you have or the person. Really? No, they do not.
I thought they had to have that proof before they even started the process.
They do. Well, it depends on who you're dealing with. Because you remember, like I told you before, the funeral home is going to do whatever they can to take advantage of the situation. But legally, they can't force you to take what they are offering. Like I said, if you say you go on Amazon or Walmart.com, you can find the same casket that they're trying to sell you for $7,000-$8,000.
Oh, I never knew that.
That same casket that they're trying to sell you for that price, you can find it for $2 or $3.
You can actually order a casket from Amazon?
Yes, and send it to that funeral home and be like, this is the casket that we're using, and that's going to save you $7,000-$8,000. Just on the casket alone. And that's something that the Funeral Advantage program does. Not only do they look into casket, like you were just saying, all those different things, embalming fluid, the vault, all that stuff is not necessary. And how the funeral home, they will make you feel like it's necessary.
Yes, you've got to have this before this. And that's the way they made me feel. It's like, I've got to buy a vault now because the vault has to go into this, and I've got to have this casket because it's got to have this certain saying up there.
That's how
So
they get you.
your company helps guide me through that so that I don't fall into those pits.
Absolutely. Yes, yes. So that's another way the final wishes goes into play. Me as your agent, I'm going to have that on your profile so that one day when your family calls me and says you passed away, I'm going to pull your profile up and say, okay, well, hey, she wanted this funeral home. Is that still what you guys would like to do? Would you like for me to look around your area and see if there's something that's a little bit more affordable?
Okay.
And then when it gets down to the nitty gritty, once you pick a funeral home, you get an invoice, you pick the plan that you like, the flowers, the casket, everything like that. That's when we would get in touch with the Funeral Advantage and say, hey, I didn't sign anything yet, and that's really the main thing.
Okay.
That is the main thing. A lot of people sign on the dotted lines before they go get a second or third opinion, and a lot of people aren't thinking to get a second or third opinion when they're going through that process. But we're going to make sure we're looking around and we're going to find something that's most affordable for you.
Okay.
And we're going to find something where we're going to make sure you have a little bit of money left over when everything is said and done.
Okay.
Like I said, the funeral home does not have to see your policy.
Okay.
So what you would do is you go in there, you tell them what you want, you ask for a general price list.
Okay.
They have to let you know their general prices for everything that's going on. And then once that invoice comes that I just mentioned, we get in touch with Lincoln, we send them that invoice, or the Funeral Advantage, I'm sorry. We send them that invoice. They're going to go over that invoice with a fine-tooth comb to look and see, are they being charged for a vault? Are they being charged for embalming fluid? Are they being charged to get in touch with the insurance company? Some places will charge you
for
$500 for an insurance charge. That's what they would call it.
They're charging me to get in touch with my insurance company. Okay.
And those are the types of things that they look over and they're like, this is unacceptable. That's not okay. And they will make the adjustments.
Okay.
And that will bring the price down, bring it to something that's more comfortable for the family.
Okay.
And that way they'll get their money and the family gets the rest at the end as well.
Because a lot of us really walk into the situations like, I've got a policy for such and such, and the funeral home essentially takes all of it.
Yes, yes. Because a lot of us are in the mindset, oh, this insurance is for when they pass away.
Okay.
Instead of, no, this is something that mom or dad left for me. Once I take care of this, there should be something left for me because that's what mom or dad wanted.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
And a lot of us don't think of it as that way.
Yeah.
We think of it as, well, that's only for that. Mm-hmm. But your company is saying, yes, but we're going to take care of that. Plus, you're not going to be burdened either.
Yes.
You're not going to feel like, I didn't do a well enough job. I took care of everything that was needed. And mom and dad or cousin or uncle, they left enough that I can take care of something else.
Yeah.
I can make sure that it didn't come out of my pocket all of it.
Right.
You know, and I still took care of them. Because they left all. I like this. What else is covered so that I know what's going on?
Okay, so of course your life is covered, like I mentioned.
Okay.
We also have AD&D coverage, which is accidental death and dismemberment.
Okay.
Where if you pass due to certain kind of accidents, or even if certain kind of accidents happen while you're alive, like dismemberment, we're going to be getting you a payout for that as well.
Okay.
The AD&D coverage, that's really amazing, especially for the younger people. Younger people are a little more prone to passing due to accidents.
Okay.
And it just adds more coverage to your plan if you do that. We have child riders where anybody under 18 can basically be covered under the
primary person?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
That as well. And then, like I said, we have first day coverage. We have a pretty lenient underwriting policy. And now, let me put it out. The first day coverage, of course, insurance is done off your current age and health.
Okay.
So depending on your health
Okay.
and your age. That will determine whether or not you get the first day coverage. But with
Okay.
my company, something that I love, as long as you're not bedridden, HIV or AIDS positive,
Okay.
or currently in a nursing facility, things like that, you qualify for coverage with this.
Okay.
Yes.
What are the rates per se? Can you go into anything like that?
So the rates, that it's a little hard to go into that
Okay.
because it is different for each person,
Okay.
of course. But like I told you, my company is a family-owned company,
Okay.
and our target audience is those elder people.
Okay.
No disrespect. Oh, I did not mean to say it that way.
But yeah,
the
but we're
people-
older, and
Yeah.
it's like sometimes we don't. Okay, I'm gonna say it. We don't think about that
Yes.
until it's like I'm past the age of 50. Maybe I should be thinking about getting coverage, and that's when people start having all kinds of medical issues.
Yes, and on SSI and disability, and that is our target audience. The
Okay.
older generation that's on SSI disability, they can find something that's affordable for them.
Okay.
And that's something that I go out of my way to do as well. I like to make sure I get to know my client. That way I
Okay.
can get an idea of their budget, and I can get an idea of what I should offer to them.
Okay.
It's my passion to help people, so
Okay.
it's my focus to make sure whatever I sign somebody up for is something that they're going to be able to keep up with.
Keep up, yes.
Because insurance isn't insurance if you don't keep up with it.
Right.
And so I do. There's a joke I heard the other day.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
And it said that when white people die, they leave wills. When
Okay.
black people die, they leave bills.
Uh-oh. Okay.
And they say it's a little truth in every joke.
Yes. That's
And
true.
so, yes,
It's true.
I want to make sure that whatever situation comes about with our people, when this does happen, when we do pass away, that at the end of the day, our families aren't left in debt.
Okay.
I've spoken to multiple different families that took out loans
Yes.
to pay for funerals.
Right.
It took years to pay those loans off.
Right.
And so I do think it's really important, and I love the company that I work for because they are looking out for those people that maybe don't have it like that but need something, because something is better than nothing.
The thing that really comes to mind too, though, is a lot of people get to the point where I can't afford to keep this premium going.
Mm-hmm.
What do they offer? Do they offer any kind of suggestions on how to, keep? What if I get into what if I'm paying on this premium and I lose my job?
Mm-hmm.
Do they offer any kind of help where, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I want to keep the insurance.
Mm-hmm.
I've paid into it, and now I'm in a situation. You said you can borrow, but what if I don't want to borrow on it because I still want to keep it?
Right. And so, yes, that's also one of the great things about my company. They do give you an option where if you fall on a hard time, and me being your agent, you can. That's really good thing about them too. You're never gonna call them and talk to a robot.
Okay.
You're always gonna speak to a person.
Okay.
Sorry, I just had to say that because I know that's very important.
Right.
It's so frustrating just speaking to robots all the time. But when you call and you have a personal relationship with your agent as well, they will let you know that if you do fall on a hard time, you have the option to decrease your premium.
Okay.
Now, essentially, that would be decreasing your coverage for the time being, but that would be making sure that you have something in place still.
Right.
And like we said, something is better than nothing. So you do have that option to kind of decrease everything. That way you're still paying into it, you still got your coverage, and then later on, once you get another job and you get back up on your feet, you call your agent and put everything back to normal.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I know that they have it where certain insurance companies keep increasing your premium every year. Mm-hmm. Is that something that Lincoln does?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
That's what I was touching on earlier. We only deal with whole life insurance. So the only time that your premium will ever change on you with us is if you haven't paid on your premium.
Okay.
Or you gave me a call and told me, hey, I want to increase my policy. I
Okay.
want a little bit more coverage. And I would actually, of course, go through the figures with you, tell you how much everything would be, let you know your total cost. And if you want to move forward with that, we go ahead and do that as well.
Go to the prices of what a person should be paying for a funeral.
Okay. Well, see,
Yes.
should be is a lot different than what it is.
Okay.
And that's what I was speaking on earlier with the funeral homes taking advantage of people. So we actually have something called a funeral cost estimate.
Okay.
Estimate. It was last updated in 2018. So of course now we're in 2025. We can imagine that these prices are a little
Gone up,
inflated.
Yes.
So without the FCGS services, which I was just telling you about,
What are?
I'm so sorry. I said it's FCGS, and basically that's another name for the Funeral Advantage program, but the name of the company is Funeral Consumer Guardian Society.
Okay, Funeral Consumer Guardian Society.
So it's exactly what it says in the name, the Funeral Consumer, the guardians for the funeral consumer. That's exactly what they are.
Okay.
But without their help, in the state of Michigan back in 2018, the best quality funeral, that's basically you got the best kind of casket, the best kind of flowers, the best just showing out. Back then it was pricing at $12,750.
Okay. That's just the $12,700. Okay, go ahead.
For the best.
Okay.
And of course it's a little bit different for each state.
Okay.
But like I was saying before, that price was probably, like I said, they probably got that casket from the funeral home, that casket that they're charging $7,000 for.
I see where you got the checklist for. What does that include? Tell them about that.
So the funeral cost, this is basically everything that is included in these estimates.
Okay.
So all that has the funeral home services, the casket in there, the transportation, the clothing for that person and the flowers that they would prefer, the outer burial container, the cemetery property, which is the plot, the opening and closing of the grave, the monument marker, newspaper notices, unpaid medical expenses, outstanding debt, probate costs, and legal fees. So this is basically a list of everything that can be covered with the assistance of the FCGS and Lincoln Heritage.
Okay, and the Funeral Consumers Guardian
Society.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so this is what we need to kind of get into as a people. We need to get ourselves situated so that this is not a burden on us at the time of the death of our family member.
Yes.
Is it very hard to get into, to qualify for?
No, you remember, I was just telling you, as long as you are not HIV or AIDS positive, or you are not currently bedridden, hospitalized in a care facility, anything like that, we can cover you, and you're under the age of 85. Okay,
under 8. So can I put someone on there, like a mother or grandmother on there?
Yes.
And I can be the beneficiary?
Yes.
So I can start something for my elderly family member, and I can cover them, and it won't be a burden for them. I can say I'm paying for up front.
Yes. So basically how that would work is you would be the owner of the policy and the payer of the policy while that person is the insured. So they're covered, you're paying on everything, you would get the copy of the policy, everything like that. If something were to happen and you're listed as the beneficiary, you're going to be getting that money back, everything that we talked about. Yeah. You can do that, absolutely.
Are we liking this company? Okay. you've gone into what we can do and how we can pay for this and the different policies that we can do and the coverage that we've got and how they go in and help us. Do they ever, they don't come out to us, but you said they're there like a 24/7 kind of a thing, and we can ask them questions?
Yes, ma'am. And so it's funny that you said that, because depending on your agent, if you want your agent to come and see you, they probably will.
Okay.
I know a lot of field agents that do go and visit their clients. They go and check on them, see how they're doing. They're
Okay.
building that relationship. So if
Okay.
that's something that you would like, Lincoln's agents are usually very nice. They're probably willing to do that. And then, I'm sorry, what was the second half of your question?
I forgot too. But they'll come out and they'll talk to me because sometimes, like, we're doing this program, but a lot of people don't understand. And they need that one-on-one. They don't want to, like, maybe they can come across all these questions they have on the phone, but they need that one-on-one.
Yeah.
Else, sometimes elderly people need to speak to people.
Yeah.
Now, I can write down all the questions I've got, but it's like going to the doctor. You write down, okay, I want to talk about this, and you get into the doctor's office, and it's gone out the wind.
Yes.
But it's that one-on-one thing that you probably need, and you're saying that that's something that's available.
Yes, absolutely. And even if you have an agent where you guys built your relationship over the phone, I know me personally, I give my clients my personal number.
Okay.
If they ever need anything, they can contact me directly. I've built relationships with a lot of clients that kind of just need somebody to talk to.
Uh-oh.
You know, so it's really, I think that's another reason why I love this so much, because I can see the difference that it makes with certain people. Like they have a large weight lifted off of their shoulders.
Okay.
And it is hard when you want to be able to take care of your family, you want to leave something for your family, but you don't feel like you're necessarily in the position to.
Okay.
And so we're on a mission to make sure that these families get the help that they need.
All right, all right. Again, this is called Lincoln Heritage, and you're with the what? Forgive me, my mind is, what is it?
So I'm with Lincoln Heritage Life Insurance Company, and I'm a final expense agent. And the Funeral Advantage program is something that comes with Lincoln Heritage no matter what.
Okay, so I can just, if I join in, I'm automatically placed into the Funeral Advantage.
Yes.
Okay. I'm automatically placed into the funeral.
Yep,
Okay.
it comes for free.
Okay, it comes for free.
Yep. So basically, if you get a policy with Lincoln Heritage, you get a free funeral plan that comes along with it.
Okay. Okay. Give us the number and everything that goes with this.
So if you want to call the corporate office, and you're looking for a job or something like that, the number that you want to call is 800-438-7180. And you want to ask for agency. Let them know that you're looking for a job, that you're interested. It doesn't matter if you are licensed or not. A lot of, like I said, I wasn't licensed when I started, so they will send you through the training and everything like that. If you want to get in touch with me personally, you have some questions or you want to get some insurance, my personal number is 313-675-4384.
All right.
Yes.
We thank you for tuning in about insurance, especially for a good understanding of what it means to get the insurance, to take that burden off of you when those final expenses come up on you very quickly. We can plan for this. It doesn't mean that you have to go to a GoFundMe. And you've got something that is affordable, and the people will work with you.
Yes.
And that's what we're about. We want to know that we've got an option that will help us in those final arrangements. And I thank you for coming in and being interviewed. Amen.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
We thank you for tuning in. We hope that you've gotten something from this show and you can use it. And until next time, remember, God loves you. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the presentations and the broadcast. I hope you avail yourself of all the information that was given. Remember to continue to tune in at 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. here on RIC TV.